it's a very good place to go to, and it's extremely fun, but it's really dangerous. And there was a lot of the Russian mafia down that way. And I remember when I was down that way visiting, it was a story, and this was just a couple of years ago, right? And this is when folks really weren't talking about human sex trafficking. But it was a lady who was an actual teacher, and she was coming, she was hanging out with some teachers after a conference at a bar, and she just had to cut through. All she had to do, let's see, one second.
She had to cut through the what?
Yeah, I'm just turning up our mics just a little bit so folks can hear. So it's not too much of a feedback. All right. What I was saying was that all this lady had to do was cut through this park, right? And she had to cut through the park to get through her house. You see on the cameras, you see her cutting through the park. And you see her driving in the park, and then you never see her car come out, right? So they found the car door open. And this is another thing that my husband says all the time. Lock your doors. If you do not have an automatic lock to your doors, or if you open your door and you have that kind of car where you have to lock your doors. They literally opened her door, right, as she's and snatched her right through the park. And no one ever saw her. Yeah, no one ever saw her again. So this is just to bring awareness, and we will talk more about what to do, how to do those types of things. But I really wanted to bring awareness because I know for a fact if my listeners are bringing me these types of stories, 5 and 6 different videos at a time, that it is something that is rampant and that we need to talk about. So another... Okay, thank you. Another, Another fact about human sex trafficking: girls in foster care are particularly vulnerable. So women are vulnerable populations anyway, right? So women are vulnerable populations anyway. However, even more vulnerable populations, adoption, foster care, the folks that we don't even pay attention to anymore, right? When they cry wolf and it's a real cry, we don't even pay attention to these folks anymore. So the most vulnerable populations are more susceptible, even throughout women. Profits from forced sexual labor are estimated about $99 billion worldwide. So that goes back to human sex trafficking just being number one as per capita as far as illegal crimes in the United States. Profits are highest per sex trafficking victim in developed countries like the United States, right? So profits from illicit massage parlors are estimated $2.5 billion. So a lot of times we'll have that quote unquote stigma massage parlor type of deal thing happening, but in essence, human sex trafficking is not necessarily what you think. Going back to that quote, the eyes don't see what the mind doesn't know, right? So let's just talk about how they are abducting these women. So a lot of times the human traffickers are doing a lot of different things, and how to be vigilant during this holiday season. So they literally, I had one of the videos from Egypt, and she's the one on HGTV that sells the homes. Uh-huh. She had put out one of those videos as well, and I had about 4 to 5 different people send me that one video alone. Uh-huh. Right? So with Egypt, she was talking about how, and let me see your hand real quick. She was talking about how the women, they're using older women to lure now. So when you're shopping, watch out for shoppers like outside of the store, or folks that are eliciting products in the store that they probably shouldn't be anyway. So the lady had came up with some massage oil and was rubbing one of the victim's hands. And they were rubbing this oil in the hand and trying to get her to purchase it. Well, she didn't purchase it. However, there was a van that was sitting in the back of the parking lot waiting for that woman to pass out, because in that oil was a drug to make her pass out. That's for darling. It was an oil a drug in the oil that would make her pass out. So that was one thing, one way that they were getting. Another way is watch where you park and who is around you. That is very, very important, especially in large parking lots. First of all, do not go shopping by yourself. I don't care if you have to go pick up something. People are watching you, and they are watching your every move. From the time you get into the car, to the time you park, to the time you go into the store and back out. You will be surprised who is watching you. So be very vigilant on that. You know, I always call it to catch a predator van. You know what I'm talking about? Those big white vans. It's like a to catch a predator van. I always say that. Are you able to hear us? Okay. All right. Just making sure we're able to hear. Yeah, it's on. You just have to push it up. Push your mic up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
I can't hear myself.
That's fine. It might be your headset. No, I can hear you just fine. Okay. So anyway, so going back, so how we're getting to these women. So the oils on the hands, that's one way. Watch where you park and who's parked beside you. You have those big vans that park beside you. A lot of times they're not in one vehicle anymore. They're going in parties. So you have a couple of different vehicles that were surrounding. Another video I watched was this man, and it doesn't matter about ethnicities. They snatching everybody. White, black, it doesn't matter who you are. They snatching everybody these days. So it was another video of the man who was talking about his wife, and his wife was so shooken up that she couldn't make the video, so he made it for her. But they were in a Target parking lot, and how she recognized the man when she was walking in, but she didn't really say anything. She just walked in, went ahead and went shopping, was coming out, and there were some other women who were more vigilant than she was. The lady was with her daughter. There was some outside women, right, that were more vigilant than the woman was with her daughter. And they purposefully parked next to that woman because they saw a van and then another van circle around and park next to her. So that woman almost got snatched. But because the other two folks that were more vigilant than the woman came up and parked next to her, they were able to pretty much intervene, right?
That's scary.
Right. I mean, and this is a man. He's saying this is in a Target parking lot, right? So a lot of times people are looking, okay, well, this is a scene out of a movie per se type of parking lot, or it's a very dark area. This is happening during the day and during the night. So if you are going to go shopping, let's go in the daytime. Let's make sure that you take more than one person with you. 3 or more is better because they can easily take a pair and split them. So have you ever seen that movie Taken?
Yes.
With Liam, I think it's Liam Nielsen, something like that. I don't know.
Where his daughter was taken?
Right, overseas?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Europe or something like that?
Yeah. Okay, so, they make those movies about something, right? The phenomenon just doesn't come out of the air. And I know that as far as a theatrical play like that Taken, it was actually based off of some stories that, some real life stories, even though it was, just a movie. But those types of things actually happen. So, be vigilant, be aware. It is okay. It is okay to go shopping with multiple people. Please have everybody in your business. It is just fine. This holiday season is not the time to do everything by yourself. It's just not. We used to just have to deal with identity theft and folks, getting those chips on their cards now and stuff like that. And that still happens. But now they just taking everybody, the person off.
Right.
So, yes, so this is just something, a phenomenon that I really want to make sure that is discussed, and that we're talking about what to do this holiday season. So, be aware, go in numbers. If your children are trying to go shopping for you, fine. They can go shopping for you, but you need to be aware, right? You really do need to be aware and understand that they have to go. I would say 4 or more. Honestly, 5 is a really good number. If it was a group of 5, I'd feel way more safe with that, because with 4, you can still split them up in pairs and then split them again. Because these are multiple vans at one time. And it's not just one van snatching folks. It's literally multiple predators luring in. So I know that this is, like I said, this is all women across the board. 99% are all women. So it doesn't really matter about the ethnicity, because they are taking everyone, right? However, a lot of the stories that I'm hearing are more so from general populations, as far as white women and other types of white women, but we're not really honing in on black women as well. And I feel like that's because we are identified as a vulnerable population, just like the girls in foster care are identified as a vulnerable populations. And the reason why we're identified as those vulnerable populations, not just because folks prey on us, but because no one talks about it. Stuff happens in the news. I can hear about human sex trafficking. I hear about most of those videos that were even sent were bringing hyper awareness to the issue, but it was only for one type of population, right? So I wanted to make sure that across the board that we are understanding that, all women, but specifically with black women, are really being snatched.
And black children.
And black children, yeah.
Taking their organs and stuff.
Right. So, and organs, and the black market for organs is rampant. It's always been there. But taking these organs from children, even for other children that need surgeries, for adults that need surgeries, those types of things, that market is for real. Mm-hmm. There was a case in Atlanta where it was a white man. He got indicted for over 600 and some odd counts of abduction.
That was recently.
Yeah, that was very recent.
Yeah.
That was very recent. It was over 600 and some odd accounts of human sex trafficking, and every last one of them were black women. Every last one of them. And the only reason that I believe, I'm speculating, but I believe that the only reason Liam Neeson, thank you, Simone. That was Liam Neeson. Thank you. But I feel like the only reason why it's really being profiled even then was because it was 600 plus. And because of the number, folks couldn't just not say anything, right?
Right.
So that I just want to make sure that we bring awareness to that, and that about this vulnerable population. So a lot of times, and like I said before, the media doesn't pick it up, so social media has, and that's another reason why I went ahead and had it on this show. I even saw where the Ricky Smiley Morning Show had turned around and picked this up and did a whole 2-hour segment the other day about this particular topic. I was like, dang, we're cued right on in.
Right.
So I do just want to make sure that we are bringing that type of awareness, to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of the things of immediate changes in environment. You're looking, and all of a sudden it's different types of folks around you, right? Just be aware. Make sure that you're locking your doors. Make sure if you carry a weapon, this is the time to go to the gun range and go ahead and get licensed. I really was thinking about that recently, just not having my husband anymore and not having my protector, to go and do that and to get certified and specialized trained so I can handle a weapon and won't be afraid of it.
And make sure you get a lockbox, because you got kids, everybody gets the
Which was my hesitation.
Yep.
Right? Which was my hesitation initially, because I have to keep that in somewhere they wouldn't even know, but at the same time train them so they aren't taken back when they see it. They're not, it's a gun, it's a weapon. No, It's nothing to be toyed with, nothing to be played with. You're going to learn gun safety right along with mommy. Right?
Or you can get a taser. I got one. Her name is Pinky.
That flashlight taser.
Yep.
Right. And it's funny because the police officer in that video, he said it. He said, get a gun